Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Leo. Welcome. This is the Feminine Inquisition. We're doing your reading. This is Aquarius season. So I'm running a little bit behind schedule. It's been kind of difficult. There's a lot of construction. I'm going to read for Venus, Sun, Moon, Rising, any Leo placements that are specific to you and or your person. This is not necessarily a love reading. When I do tarot readings here, it is in the nature of the Feminine Inquisition. So we're talking about how to be open, how to receive, how to understand and love your fate, everything that is showing up right now, taking you to your highest path, right, for what it is that you're evolving into. I'm going to start with this oracle deck, which is separated into houses, signs, and planets. And we'll see there's a way in which we can use that as a cue. So just to be clear, I have done your reading previously, but I was interrupted 2 times for construction. So I'm really hoping that today we fucking get through. Okay. Uh, so without further ado, let's just get into it. Right on. Right on, right on, right on. So for Aquarius season, can I see what it is that Leo may need to take a closer look at, understand? Now, the cues in this card are separated by the spiritual path, the mental path, or the physical path. So each one of these could be part of the reading. I will take what makes sense for how I feel it. Okay. For Leo, what does Aquarius bring to them? For Leo, what does Aquarius season bring towards them? Tell me, please, for Leo, what are we going to talk about today? Cool. So we've got the 5th house here, which is your house. How cool is that? The 5th house is, of course, ruled by the sun. It is where Leo is playing. It's the playpen. It's the sandbox. Here I've got the red on the top, the blue on the bottom. Red in this deck is the subconscious. Blue is the conscious. So it's saying already, Spirit is coming through with messages that have to do with the underneath, the underneath, right? So like what's behind the thing in the subconscious, some moon energy, some shadow play, right? What it is that you think you see but maybe don't see the whole thing, some fears that may be dominating decisions, but again, this is all on a very conscious, behind the scenes basis. So here we have, for spiritual plane, it says with the trust of a child, right? Because the 5th house is all about the curiosity, the childlike wonder, the child that we see on the white horse in the card of the sun. Then mental, fun, romance, and making art. So the mental play, the creative state of flow that comes in and the mind is at ease. This kind of way in which the mind does not think or repress the flow of energy as it comes through for whatever you're doing, be it love making, cooking, cleaning, singing, even sports, right? The 5th house is a very physical house as well. Leo is a very physical sign. Then I've got the physical plane, and that is do it dramatically. Now, we will not shit on Leo, but we will definitely say that when there's a physical component here, do it dramatically means that you are rooted into the material world. So you are very subjective in the experience, forgetting that you are a spirit having a human life that you carry out for what is a blip of a second rather than the eternity of the lifelong journey of what your soul is here to continue to create, right, with each lifetime. So doing it dramatically would be really heavily relying upon, like, you know, what people say, the chatter of the town, the material crisis of mortgage, bills. Not that these things aren't practical. They do need your attention to live in this world. We do live on this plane, right? Our feet touch the earth and we have to make good on what society asks of us. But doing it dramatically gets too bogged down by the limitations of the material world and a sort of fixed perspective on lack or scarcity. Again, the subconscious is fears that dictate decisions or behavior. So I love that your house came out. And I love that we're talking about what it means to have things behind the thing. At the bottom of the deck, I've got Neptune. Now, We know that this is the age of Neptune in Aries, right? So that means that we are coming into a very dreamlike experience in the very individualistic, fiery, I'm going to do it first Aries characteristics or personality. Here it is the conscious, so it's something that is on the forefront of your mind. And I've got in the spiritual, the idealization of, mental, the confusion regarding, and physical, the sacrifice. So Neptune is about our dreams. It's also about our fears. And this is about the fears, the ideas, the confusion of what it means to get into the state of play, to trust with curiosity, and to be very physical. So we'll see what this is about. Let's just start with the tarot and see what comes out. Okay, big intro, I know. But these cards have a lot to offer, and we'll see how the story plays out. For Leo, 2 more shuffles. Show me what it is that we're going to be discussing, what they're going to be facing in Aquarius season. Shout out to my sister who has been waiting patiently for this reading. Let's go. I've got the 9 of Pentacles. So confidence, resourcefulness is at play. That's definitely a state of flow. The Queen of Swords in reverse. That's reason, that's logic, but maybe you're being silent about something. Maybe you feel that what you thought you knew and were certain about is not actually present at this time. Can I have one more for these 2 feminine energies that came down? The Devil in reverse. Well, not doing it so dramatically. What else? The 2 of Pentacles. Not going back and forth on something. And the 3 of Wands. Okay, so there is an element. The deck is in reverse. Look at this. Okay, so let's just not. My bad. We'll take it all like this. Doesn't matter if they show up in reverse or not. The message will play itself out. Do not worry. So the highest commitment to the self right here, the Hierophant, what it is that you give permission to, what it is that you reject. That's what you're dealing with. That's the idealization, right? The confusion regarding what gets past, what you say no to. There's also an element of sacrifice here because you are prophetic. You are the teacher, right? And that is all Neptunian. Neptune is elusive, but he is the decoder of mystery and secrets. So there is a process by which you are maybe bringing things from the subconscious to the conscious, and you're trying to sift through what is real, what is fantasy. And it looks like part of that has to do with balancing insecurities as you wait, as you manifest. There is something that you feel very grounded in, very practical, very confident, and also like there is a things are going well, right? Like it is not broken. It is not broken. We see it. We can talk about it. We can talk it through. We can solve it. People will line up to get a better understanding from you, from your perspective of it. You have what it takes to get it to completion with the Devil energy here. But this right here, these 2 in combination, these are talking about insecurities. And I know because whenever we're sitting in the 3 of Wands, in that waiting game, there is a small window that opens up. And the Devil, fears, insecurities creep in. The subconscious of what it means to be curious, right? Because if you want to be curious and playful like a child, you also want to not run the risk of being naive. You want to be standing firm, using logic as your backdrop, your sound framework to make a projection into the future as the head of state. So how do you balance being curious and being open, but also not being naive? And the Devil will give you some ideas that make it very dramatic. And so there's something that you're kind of juggling back and forth. Perhaps there is a play between the mind and the practical. Perhaps you're trying to set your sights on something that is forward movement, but you're really tied up now in the 3D. But there is a huge component of looking forward to the future, manifesting something with the power of Neptune, the idea, the big idea, your faith that it's going to come in, right? These 2 cards are heavily connected in the sense that they are both dressed to impress. They are both dressed in their best garments. They are in it to win it and faking it until they make it. They anticipate that they know the persona that they hold at this moment is going to work with reality and bring towards them what it is that they're trying to manifest. Okay? So I think that you're in a state of productivity, creativity, as we can tell from the fifth house being there. I also think that you're already in a full machine, in a grind. And so right now it's Neptune influencing your life, and you trying to make sense of what you're calling into existence. So let's touch base with the Akashic Tarot, and let's see what is in the field, what you are pulling from, what you are manifesting, what's available to you in the ether. Can I see, please, what is in the field for Leo? One more. For this Aquarius season, what are they drawing down from? For Leo. Setting your course, precisely, exactly. So you are looking forward. There is a rainbow here. There is a ship. There is movement. The muse is here. So I did your reading 2 times before this. The muse has come out each and every time. There is a person of inspiration that you love deeply, that is connected to you, that you find to be your muse. I don't know what that is. You will, okay? But let's say it's not a person. Let's say it's a child, or let's say it's some creative endeavor that makes you feel like a child. But the muse of the doing of that activity fills your spirit with love. Okay, inspiration, creativity, it's a burst of energy. Now you've got the 3 of Scrolls, so you are setting your course. This is kind of like a broadening of your perspectives, working for the potential partnerships, any collaborative opportunities that show up, right? This is the 3 of Pentacles kind of energy. Even though Scrolls do not really reflect on Pentacles in this deck, that's not the point. The cards are all mixed and matched. This is akin to the 3 of Pentacles. So this from 2 to 3. And the thing is that you've been juggling and doing a lot of it by yourself. Perhaps there is this manifestation that you get a partnership, that you get the project going. Perhaps you're trying to submit a proposal. You need some signage, you need some clearance, you need some licensing. I don't know, but setting your course, this is the gear begins to go in motion for whatever it is that you have high anticipations about. And it's really exciting because the muse is the foreboding kind of card about greater creativity and state of flow coming in. Okay. All right. Cool. So we are talking about a project that you are calling into fruition. I'm going to go directly to the Lenormand Oracle because I want to touch base about who is in collaboration with you, who are you calling towards you, what it may look like that they bring, and what it is that you may be doing. Can I see anything more about from the 2 to the 3, as well as the muse that's involved? This manifestation right now for Leo in Aquarius season, working with their 5th house and Neptune, their highest aspirations. Tell me now. Tell me now for Leo, please. Thank you. 1 card. Oh, I've got heart at the bottom. So snake. Ooh, wow. Okay, so interesting. So look, if you've got snake at the center, this is not a great card. So the snake is about complications. It's about treachery. It is about some betrayals, right? But if I just look to see here, besides the creepiness of someone maybe having envy of you, maybe not being completely honest, maybe having complicated or complex issues in their behavior. So you think you know something, but then they do something that's not really matching up with their words. That's snake-like behavior, okay? But I also want to bring your attention to the fact that we are ending the snake year. February 17th does mark the transition into the fire horse. So we'll see more about what that looks like as we combine it with the heart, if there is a chance to do so. So the book sometimes compares the combination, but I don't have anything here snake with heart. Now, if I go to heart and see if there's something there with snake, we could get lucky. We know the heart is love in all its forms. We know that this is big endeavors of passion, creativity. We know that there's a lot of affection, some enthusiasm. There's a lot of warm, charming exposure when this card comes up, whether it's from you or from other people to you. But if I look for heart and snake, I don't have anything. So it's hard to say how this relates. But it looks like if we just look directly at them together, the heart, masculine, the snake, woman or feminine, and he's looking at her. Fearlessly, open heart. So, if that's the case, let's get a closer look at this devil, okay? Let's see if there's anything we can learn about this devil. Because this snake doesn't have to be another person. The devil comes before the Two of Pentacles. Perhaps your devil is that you have to do everything by yourself, that no one can do everything as good as you. And then you get stuck with this great heavy burden, but it's you who is showing up as both sides of this. Your heart, breaking your own heart by being overly complicated about what it means to collaborate with other people, right? Being too closely, dramatically attached to what it is that you want to create. And therefore that fixed perspective doesn't allow you to really manifest what you're looking for. And then you're waiting for something which is not actually, your frequency is such that it's closed off. And so what you're trying to manifest can't come in because you're blocked off. Just because the lack of trust in other people, a lack of willingness to collaborate with other people, feeling like you know how to do it better than everyone. Can I see this devil, please? Three of Pentacles. You just can't make it up. The Three of Pentacles to what? What else? The devil to the Three of Pentacles. So there is fear about working together, the truth of what it means to speak. You speak how you see other people's work, speak about what it is that you're working on. Maybe it's like there's a truly a divine timing. There's a real will that you want to do something with this Ace of Swords. The time is now. It's not a time to play small. And here we have the Seven of Swords. This card can mean one of both things. Here, there's the autonomy that you're trying to create your own strategy, right? Your own path. The Seven is the development of the self. This is the development of a strategy. That's why it's swords. But also it's turning your back on certain things and not having a very clean cut when you do turn your back on those things. So this could be that you are tricking other people by tricking yourself, or you are thinking that other people are tricky and therefore you trick yourself. Either way, there's a sense of deception that is here. And I'm not really sure that I get a sense of another person's energy. I really don't. I think that there is a component of inner dialogue that we're talking about, of you not being able to recognize when something comes in. Again, another 4, which is a foundational number of being stuck. There's stuckness here, you see? Arms closed, folded, energy blocked. There's something coming in, but one cannot see it because their eyes are solely based on past experiences, the 3 cups already shared, experienced, spilled, etc. And here's one coming in, but cannot be held onto, cannot be viewed. Fast, explosive ways in which one can respond, be hasty in making decisions, wanting to be the first one to make the decision, with a sword no less, to cut it out. The Knight of Swords is not diplomatic. And then we have the Ten of Wands, great responsibility, great burden, thinking that it's all up to you. Why? And then the complication of not recognizing, again, 2 cups that are still up, focusing on the 3. Again, a foundational shift is required. A foundational shift, something about the way that you have been going about something requires a shift. You don't have to do it all by yourself. Right. I'm going to go to the Osho. We're going to get clear on why you need partnership. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles is obviously a huge part of this reading. As you can see, I still haven't put a card here because I'm not necessarily sure about what your main position is in this season. I think you're spread very thin. And I think you're a little bit in the clouds. With Neptune here and the subconscious here, I feel as though whatever bright, concentrated force of the warmth of the sun that could assist you in your passion and in your play is being clouded by the fact that, number one, you're trying for something that's not yet arrived. And the thing that you're trying for requires you to be open to partnership. Even you may yourself want partnership, but there's a blockage. There's not a clear flow of energy to call that in. So please show me, what's this Three of Pentacles for? What is it needed for? Why do we have to have the Three of Pentacles? What is the workings of this card for this moment in Aquarius season for Leo? Show me, please, the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, please. Wow. Okay, that's the Page of Wands. This is the Magician. So this card, sorry, not this card. This deck is in French. I actually don't know how I'm going to say that. So I'm not even going to try because it's too much. Some words are easier than others, but we ordinarily know that this card is about being excited, being enthusiastic, right? But here it's showing that this is a clown. Do you see? It's a clown. Oh, I don't even know the best way to show you. Yeah, it is a clown surrounded by fire. And it's like a circus, basically. So let's just see what it is that's going on here. So as soon as you begin to see life as not being something serious, the card is mischief. All the burdens that weighed heavily on your heart disappear. The fear of death, of life, of the hunger fades away. The life you lead then becomes very light. It weighs almost nothing. You can even fly into the sky. Zen offers the serious man an alternative. This is Zen's greatest gift. The austere man built the world and instituted all religions. That's this guy when we had the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. He created philosophies, cultures, and morals. Everything that exists around you comes from the creation of the serious man. Zen withdraws from the world of serious people. It created a universe of its own, filled with laughter and playfulness, where the greatest masters behave like children. As we've seen, the fifth house was here. When the fire page, mischief, enters your life, it's a sign that you're ready for what's fresh and new. Something wonderful is on the horizon, and you possess the qualities of playful innocence and clarity to welcome the event with open arms. Okay, so let's just say the big quote, not my circus, not my monkeys, right? Because he's in the circus. The card, let's just try and say it. Le Spigliette. This being mischief and divinely guided with other people. There are portals by which you can move through here when you work together and understand what it takes to collaborate. But mischief, in the sense that Zen offers you the greatest gift, to be playful, to be open. But the devil is here. The magician, powering mischief, but the magician, your powers of manifestation, are riddled by something that has to do with the snake, something that has to do with the schism between you, something that has to do with feeling betrayed before you are, or deceiving yourself that someone will deceive you. There's a protective guardedness that is present. There is a battle with no opponent. What's that about, Leo? There is a burden, but no specific details on why you're picking up all these pieces. What's that about? There's sadness and a distorted perspective where you're missing 2 cups that are still available, and a tower that causes you to shift. Heartache. What is that about? What? So we're going to go back here. Back to my French. And we're going to learn what is it that you're trying to manifest. Okay? What are you trying to manifest? This is a house, a home, the loving man. This is an open heart, and this is trickery. So what are you trying to manifest with these contradictory natures in you? That's it. Contradiction. Going back and forth. Share with me, please, the powers of the magician for Leo for Aquarius season. The world, the achievements. Can you find the missing puzzle piece? Can you close it out? Can you graduate yourself? Can you let be done what is done? Be complete with it as is. The interior world. This is the High Priestess. Something about your intuition, you don't trust it completely. Therefore, you can't be done with it. For you, seeing is believing. That's very much like the Hierophant. What else? What are you trying? That's the breakthrough, but it's justice in this deck. So you are not able to close something out because either someone is not speaking to you or you're not able to hear your intuition completely regarding a breakthrough, justice. What is just? What is fair, Leo? In terms of collaboration, working together, building a foundation so that you can break through. This, Ace of Swords, clarity, setting your course as you manifest whatever it has to do with the trust of a child, the fun, the romance, the sexual productivity, the playfulness of your dreams that maybe have to do with the house. There you are, the creator, the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So does this have to do with leadership? Does this have to do with the fear of coming into a position of leadership, stating your claim? Asking for what you want, feeling deserving of it. I haven't seen the 5 of Swords. That's not here yet, anyway. But there is a muse. And there is a will. But there is complication. But here you are. So it does come to question about your identity as you try and move through this. What's underneath? Ooh, the 9 of Swords. Yeah, there is a cause of stress. There is stress that could be allowing you to shift, right? Because stress does allow us to adapt. So we need to go through stressful moments to be able to see what we really care about, or how we'd like to change, or what we'd like to introduce to our world, how we'd like to show up differently. Stress is not a bad thing. It is a way in which we dive deeper into this experience. But we must spend time with it to understand what it's asking of us. Instead of it being dramatic, what does it pull on? The thing behind the thing. What are we responding to? Something could be in front of you, your desire, the balancing of your existing grind, what you think you understand logically, what you feel it's perfect timing for, of a truth you'd like to share, and with whom you'd like to say it to, that you feel you can work together. And also the idea is that there's a snake in your midst. Now, the world is here. The universe is asking you to complete something, whether it be a mindset, an inner dialogue, a connection to a person, place, or thing, a project that didn't take off, a new idea that you'd like to get started on, right? The world is not just an ending, but also an opening. The world is asking you to get ready to achieve and close what was and open what will be. But your intuition is on its side. You don't know what. You don't know what. You don't know what you don't know, and things that you think you do know, you can't trust. Mischief is at play. The devil is at work, and about what you can break through. This is about limiting beliefs. What are you worried about? Show me the snake. We're back to the Akashic Tarot. Show me the snake. So like I told you, Neptune is here to say that, yeah, I think this is you now. You're here, arrived. Can you create something according to Neptune's impulses for what you dream of without the devil telling you that you're a fool for dreaming it? Show me. What is this snake? Show me. What is this snake? Please and thank you for Leo for Aquarius season. Thank you. So the karmic trench. Let's just talk about this bottom of the deck first. Oh, you can't really see it. I'm sorry. We'll put it here. So the karmic trench, as you can see, there is a person that is digging, and he is doing it in the same exact way, digging exactly where there's already a trench, so he doesn't need it. So there's a karmic idea here. Karma is already on the table. This is the Justice card in the Osho Zen Tarot, which is karma. Now, it's upright, so there's still a possibility. The world is here asking you to take action. Nothing has turned on its head. Nothing unlucky is occurring. But inaction is still your inability to rise and be a leader for the situation. Now, karmic trench. This card, the Four of Scrolls, 4 here also, holding pattern, is talking about and asking you to take a closer look at your self-limiting concepts, the lowest concept you have of yourself. What stands in your way? What are your obstacles? How do you do things in a particular style, fashion, and then just say, no, but I've always been doing it this way? Expecting a different result, but doing it the same way, right? Okay, first card that came out was the Bird's Nest. Now, ordinarily, if it was upright, it would be talking about greater responsibility, because it's a bird with a bunch of little baby birds and a lot to feed. But in reverse, it's about taking flight, lessening your responsibility, still creating your own individual responsibility, creating your own individual life, not unlike setting your course. But this is a releasing of the burdens that may no longer be present. This is recognizing that you are free to do again and again and again and manifest in the way that you'd like. You don't have to be burdened by what you previously manifested that may or may not have worked. World, close out what is before this moment and go again lightly into the future of whatever it is that you are creating. Now, I have here the initiation of Saint Germain, the initiation of the Count Saint Germain, sorry. So if we just understand that there are 4 people here. There are 4 women and a masculine in the center. And the card is number 14. So we have this enormous amount of uplifting evolution. This is an ascension. This is about you coming into your greatest gifts or understanding your gifts. And perhaps there is a reckoning for you to open up a cycle for what it means to follow your intuition. Perhaps you haven't really been able to do so. There's been a lot of noise, a lot of distractions, a lot of distrust. You haven't trusted your own voice. You haven't been able to be open to hear it when it comes through. Anyway, I want to draw your attention that 1 before 4. So 1 is you before 4, you're holding patterns. Again, self-limiting beliefs and structures. That's the snake. That's what causes you stress. So Aquarius season asks you to be a leader. And it asks you to remember your dreams, Neptune, which is the ruler of Pisces, which is the card of the High Priestess. Huge Piscean energy here. We know that Pisces is finally going to release Saturn. Saturn will finally leave Pisces and enter Aries as of February 13th, I believe. So very soon, this watery, over-emotional response to what reality is, because that's what Saturn is giving us, is something that will bring new freedom, will bring new manifestation power towards you if you can reduce your reactions, your emotional reactions to what your dreams really mean and how your self-limiting concepts get in the way of making good on them. Let's keep going. What is justice? What is your great gifts? What is justice? What is the breakthrough? And it could just be like that you think that you're only deserving of X amount of euros, dollars each year. It could be that you don't see yourself as ever owning a home, or that, you know, you need to wear these kinds of clothes or drive this kind of car, or it could be something really, really simple, micro or macro. What is justice? What are your greatest gifts? What are you being initiated into right now? Show me, please. For Leo, what is the justice? What is the greatest gift? There you are, King of Wands again. So this is about ascension. This is about elevation. This is about the courage. This has to do with heart. Here's the stress at the heart of the situation. That's what we're talking about. This is a stressful moment of clarity. Do you know what the fuck is going on in your own brain? Then you've got the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. So the King of Wands wants to level up. He wants to be the creator. He also sends out his knight so that he can see what's out there before he really gets his feet wet, his hands dirty. And that's normal. He's head of state. So good on you for doing that. Good on you for having a knight. Good on you for being already in a position of power. Now, you're finding the will to be excited. Here's Neptune. Fire, water. You're finding the will to be excited. It's stressful. You decide, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this with love. We're going to put our dreams out there. We're going to take a chance, the Fool. To overcome and become the Emperor, right? There's justice again. Something about the heart situation, something about the heart, whether it's actual romance or just the heart in the way that the heart of a child can be simply broken by disappointment. There is something about trepidation, the busyness that you like to do. You like to feel needed. You like to feel responsible. You like to be the one in control, in charge, because then you don't have to be let down. Nine of Swords, Nine of Swords. Being vulnerable is scary, not just for you, Leo, for all of us. Who do you need to be vulnerable with? Who do you need to be vulnerable with? Who do you need to be vulnerable with? Back to the Lenormand, they're really good at showing people. Who do you need to be vulnerable with? Who do you need to be vulnerable with? That's the bouquet. Number 9, like I told you, this year was the year of the 9. You've given me 2 indications that we're talking about you really successfully closing out this year. The world is here also. The bouquet in the Lenormand has to do with grace, art, creativity, beauty, right? It's a card that has to do with all of the world of art. It's about beautiful experiences, pleasurable people, pleasurable conversations. Now, it's also about a gift, which we've been talking about. So you have to give your heart to your gift, to your voice, to your gratitude, to your appreciation, to your beauty. And maybe, yeah, you're at the height of your game doing what you feel is the grind. It's very successful. It's working. But maybe there's a capacity of heart that you haven't really explored, an aptitude or an avenue that's available for you to just give a little bit more of yourself to it. And you've been guarded against doing that, or you haven't really found a way to make that channel free, clear, and open. That's why you're setting the course. Or it could be a new endeavor completely. Maybe fuck that job. I got to do something that I care about. Coming into an age or a mindset where service is really where you want to be. So let's just see if there's a combination between the bouquet and the cross, because this is a heavy burden here. The cross is like the way that we use that in a sentence. This is my cross to bear. So 1 second. If I see cross and bouquet. Okay. So the cross and the bouquet is a relief or respite. I wonder if it's about taking time off. So this is about fate. This is about crisis. This is your test, your challenging, crucial moments, or even a dark night of the soul, right? Something that you must go through. And yeah, with the bouquet and the cross, there is this chance to have relief for whatever hardship you may have been experiencing up until this point. What do you need to give your heart to? I'll give your attention right now that there's been confusion regarding Neptune is offering a chance for you to sacrifice, to physically sacrifice yourself, surrender to your gift, to adoration, to grace, to beauty, to a woman of love. I don't know if that woman is you, the woman in you, or if it's a woman that you care about that's in your world. But there is something that needs to be said. We got the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Cups. What is justice? We have the complications of the devil, the mischief. We have what will set you free and take away the burdens of responsibility. Because you think that it's all up to you. You're trying to manifest something. The Magician was also here. And the timing is now about stepping into this ascended place of King of Wands. I'm going to get 4 cards from a different tarot deck to see if there's anything else left here to discover. 3 shuffles. For Leo, please. For Leo, please. Thank you. Temperance. Take your time. Be patient to open up and see what's available to you. Stop holding on and being blocked from allowing your energy to go out and energy to come into you. Just choose one. Stop thinking that you have to balance and juggle everything. Just choose one. Learn from what you've already lived through, complete it, complete what needs to be completed, the world, and move on. Take this seed and plant it. If this is a seed, take the seed and plant it into the future. 9 of Pentacles, and nothing is lost. You are right here as you have always been. Your status remains unchanged. It's taken some time, though. And I think that the burden has been for you, what is fair? What has been fair here? And it's hard for you to take leadership and claim something if you're not sure that it's fair. Can I get some final words of advice for Leo? Final words of advice for Leo. So part of this has been a little bit vague. I think I'm talking to a few different kinds of stories. One of you or several of you want to change your job and do something with more heart. And others of you want to keep what you've got going on, but put more of you into it. And closing off the position of power that you're currently in is terrifying. And some of you don't know where to begin, and others of you are ready to do so, but you're scared to do it alone. And so this is a crossroads of some sort where you are evolving, changing, growing. And it's asking you to be patient, to be fair, to be honest, and to work together with others. And that looks very different for each one of you. Advice, please, for Leo, for Aquarius season. High Priestess, the Moon. There's some emotional truths coming to the surface about what it is to be truly content in a situation, and also maybe a little bit selfish, guarded, and or codependent. And that's not to say codependent in relationships and of romance. Codependent, like, why do you feel like you can't do it on your own? Why do you feel like your efforts alone are not good enough? Why do you feel like you need to have a partnership to do something that is part of your love, right? If it's your gift, why is your voice not potent enough, powerful enough? And that's a question to sit with, Leo. This is your cross to bear, but not in the creepy sense. Not in the sense where you carry it for God, for your community, a burden for some group that you feel is marginalized. No, this is you. This is all for you. This is your world. This is your dream. This is your vision. This is your path. You are the creator. Nothing is lost. You stand strongly, powerfully, as the 9 of Pentacles. You're in a position where you can take risks. The 9 of Pentacles is wearing her best garment in her beautiful garden with a falcon on her arm, untethered, because she is afraid of nothing. She can lose nothing. That which she calls to her is going to return. That which belongs to her is for her, and her highest good is already hers, right? Right. So yes, while there is stress at this time, just know that number one, you are loved. You are not alone. The season is ever changing. The year is coming to a close. We are entering the year of the fire horse. It will be a little bit more comfortable, a little less watery, and you will come that much closer to manifesting. You do need to be patient. Part of the advice was with the temperance. So there is this element of give it time. It will show up. Now, will it be exactly what you ask of it? No, it will be exactly what you need from it. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Anyway, I really appreciate you being here. I hope you appreciate the new setup. Let me know if this resonates for you, what you're working on, who you need to work with, what is your sense of justice, what you're enthusiastic about for this season, what you're closing out, and yeah, anything thereafter. Thank you so much for being here. Ciao.